guys, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a fun video and I will be doing a small little book haul for you today. So I only have about 7 books here. I do have a book outlet order that I placed earlier this week and that should be here sometime next week, so I will do an unboxing and all of that. Sorry. So I will do an unboxing for that when it comes, and that'll be really exciting. That box does have 16 books in it. I did go a little crazy considering we are in kind of an isolation mode here in the United States right now, and a lot of us need things to read. So with that being said, you guys, let's just go ahead and get into this book haul. So the first book that I ended up getting this month was a pre-order, and I'm really excited. I have not started this yet, but it is on the TBR for next month, and that is House of Earth and Blood, which is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I am so excited for this. I have no idea what this is about, but I will buy anything that Sarah J. Maas puts out. And this book is pretty on the, without the dust jacket. And it's gold on the spine. But inside, this art is just stunning. And this, really intrigues me. It makes me want to start reading this book. And I'm just really excited. This book is a chunker though. It is, I believe, just under 800 pages, and I mean just under. It is 799 pages, and it is like Bible thin paper. It is a behemoth of a book, but I am so excited to read this. When I got it, I wanted to start reading it right then, but I knew that a particular readathon was coming up, and I wanted to use it for that. So I am super excited to get to this next month, and really excited to read a new series by her, because if you don't know, A Court in Mist and Fury is my all-time favorite book of all time. It is one of my favorite reads, and I reread it every year, twice a year, and it's getting to be that time. I usually reread it in April, and I usually reread it in October, which is my birthday month. So I just reread it in October, so I have a little bit to go, just a couple more weeks, but I'm really excited to get to this, and I haven't really heard anything yet because it did just come out, so I'm really excited to see what I think about this one. The next book that I ended up picking up was kind of a new obsession for me. So recently I started the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, and I had the first 3 books, but I did not have the 4th one, and I know myself, and I knew if I was gonna love the first book, and then I was gonna just marathon through them. I'm currently on book 3, and I did not have the 4th book, but now that is taken care of, and this is Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco, which is the 4th and I believe the final book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. There is a small novella taking in place in Thomas's perspective, but I do not think that there is another full-length book coming out in this series. So I'm really excited to get to this. I am currently, I think I'm about 100 pages into the 3rd book. I'm enjoying it so far, but from what I hear, the 3rd book is you want to pretend like it never happened and just move on to the 4th one. So I'm really excited for that. Okay, so the next group of books I bought off of Amazon, and these were books that I've read previously and just wanted physical copies of. The first 2 books are a series, and that is Sweet Addiction and Sweet Possession, both by J. Daniels. I love these books, you guys. These books are just, I love them so much. So I believe this is the first one here, which is Sweet Addiction. And this is a book about a girl who is a baker. She owns her own bakery shop, and she one day has to make a wedding cake for her ex, her ex, and his wedding and all of that. So she has to make this wedding cake for this wedding, and she has to go to it because she is the baker, and when she goes to the wedding, she accidentally falls into the lap of our main character, and his name is Reese. I love Dylan and Reese. They are the sweetest couple I think I've ever seen. No pun intended. But I mean, there are some problematic elements of it, but they truly care for one another, and it is just so sweet to see. I have not read this book in a long time, so I might do a reread. And book 2, Sweet Possession, is just their continuation on with the story from the first one. And I loved these guys. These are so cute and they're so quick to read. And I just wanted physical copies, and I got my tax return and was like, you know what? I'm going to buy physical copies of these because I just want them on my shelves, and I love everything that J. Daniels does. However, there is a third book to the series that I'm going to pretend doesn't exist. I'm not a fan of who the third book is written about, so I am not going to read it. But these are super cute, and I really enjoyed them. The next book I have is a recent obsession of mine, and that is Playboy Pilot by Penelope Ward and V. Keeland. I loved this book. You guys, in my wrap-up for February, I read this book. I read this on Kindle Unlimited, and I got it, you know, it was for free with my subscription, and I absolutely loved it. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This is about a pilot, obviously, and he is kind of like this ladies' man, and one day he runs into our main female character in a bar in the airport, and she just is trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life, whether she wants to do this one particular decision or if she wants to go off and do her own thing. So she decides that she's going to go on this last minute vacation and just kind of let it all go and go with the flow. And so she meets our main character, she meets the pilot in a bar in the airport, and he basically tells her to go to Rio because he's the pilot of that plane, and she doesn't realize this until they're already in the air and he starts talking on the overcome thing in the airport in the airplane. So it was super cute. I loved it, and I loved that it went on this like magical excursion, and he basically told her to follow him while he was working on all of these flights. So it was really cute. I loved it, and I wish there was more of these characters because I want to know what happens with the remainder of their story, because it literally just goes to a 5-year in the future epilogue, and I really want to know how they got to those 5 years. So I want more of these two characters, but I know that's not going to happen. But I highly recommend this book to anybody, and I really enjoyed it. And then the last 2 books, I didn't think I was going to buy these on physical copy, but I became slightly obsessed, so I had to. And that was Born Darkly and Born Madly, both by Trisha Wolfe. And this is part of the Darkly Madly duet. And I actually really enjoyed this duet. It is about a serial killer and a psychologist. Very Joker, Harley Quinn-esque, also very Bonnie and Clyde. It was very different and I liked it. This first book, Born Darkly, is basically about Grayson, who is the serial killer, and London, who is the psychologist. And Grayson goes to the psychologist as kind of like a last-ditch effort by the police in order for him to be reformed. But he's a serial killer. He's not going to be reformed. So during the time that they are doctor and patient, he gets her to fall in love with him, basically. And it is just kind of like, it screws with your mind. I tried to read this all in one day, and it messed with my psyche so bad that I had to read something else to forget about this for a little while. And that leads me to the second book. The second book took me almost 2 weeks to read, because I did not want my psyche to get messed up like the first one did. So I prolonged this book as long as possible. It really does mess with your psyche. It makes you believe that the serial killer is a good guy and that you want the serial killer to essentially get out and be free and be able to be with our main character. And it's just, it screws with your mind. But, you know, some things happen in the first book where we find out what happened to London in her childhood and why she is the way that she is. And we find out that our serial killer is a psychopath, and our psychologist has sociopathic tendencies. So a psychotic serial killer and a sociopathic psychologist, what could possibly go wrong? However, I really enjoyed these and I highly recommend them to anybody. I just don't recommend that you read them in one sitting, because it really does mess with your psyche and it makes you wish that this was real. Like it's the oddest sensation that I've ever had to deal with, but I really enjoyed these. And I just had to pick up a set of physical copies. But yeah, so y'all, that is my book haul for this month. Not very many. I only have about 7 books here, but I do, like I said, have a book outlet haul coming. It's just going to be here in the next couple of weeks, and I will have that video up as soon as that box gets here. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and a subscribe, and if you have any video ideas, please let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys.